friends, welcome back to Vlogmas. It is December 4th today. I barely filmed anything yesterday. Whatever snippets I did film you will have seen already. If you can't tell by my voice, I definitely got sick. Whatever cold thing the boys had going on, I caught it, and yesterday, the 3rd, the baby and I were not very happy campers. There's a lot of sitting on the couch and not doing a whole lot. I haven't knit a single stitch in like 3 days. It's just been a lot. But I'm feeling a little bit better, a little bit more on the mend today, which is really nice. I felt really crummy yesterday. It was just, ugh. But right now, the baby's sleeping. The kids' naps have been all over the place and just such a mess today. My 3-year-old was definitely very antsy. He was so antsy. So my wonderful husband, he stayed home from work all day yesterday to help out, and then he's home from work again today, because we took a test last night and it turned out that I had that virus, which is it's just basically a cold, but a little bit more extreme with a slight fever and chills and stuff. So not fun, but I'm on the mend, so it's fine. But anyway, he can't be around work people when he's in the same household as somebody who tested positive. So he has the toddler out in the shed right now. I got the baby down finally for his nap. And so I just finished making myself a frittata, just eggs, cream, and sausage, and then some cheese on top. And then I am making the kids and my husband some cottage cheese protein pancakes with oatmeal and cottage cheese. Then I'm gonna get this cooked up for them, so that then hopefully by the time my husband comes inside I can have some pancakes all ready to go. But yeah, so this beginning of December took a little bit of a turn that I wasn't expecting, but it's fine. It was honestly last night. So yesterday we ended up watching a couple different Studio Ghibli films. So in the afternoon we watched Only Yesterday, which is one of the most beautiful Ghibli films. It's very quiet and slow, and it almost has a little bit of a melancholy feel to it, but like a hopeful melancholy. And the ending is just, it's amazing. If you've not seen Only Yesterday, I highly recommend it. And then yesterday evening we watched From Up on Poppy Hill, which is another one of my favorite Ghibli movies. And it was the cutest thing ever, because all 4 of us were piled up on the couch, and for a while I had the baby on my chest and he was like asleep and just like cuddling, and then at some point we like swapped, and so then my husband was holding the baby and then my 3-year-old was snuggling with me, and we were just all like cuddled up on the couch watching this beautiful, relaxing, wonderful movie. And it was just, I had one of those moments where I was just like, this is worth it. It was worth being sick for this. So that was just, it was adorable. Like my baby, neither of our boys are particularly snuggly, especially with my husband. They're more inclined to want to snuggle with me because I'm the primary caregiver, because I'm taking care of them all day. But they don't really snuggle with my husband very much. And so it was really, really special that even though the baby was sick and very miserable, he like cuddled with my husband, and my husband was just like, he had all the baby snuggles, and it was just very, very sweet. But anyway, oh my goodness. I'm gonna get these pancakes cooked up and finish eating my frittata, and hopefully we can have a nice, chill, relaxing evening. We got the 3rd Octopath Traveler game that just came out today. It's Octopath Traveler 0, and my husband played through Octopath Traveler 1 and 2, and they were really fun games to sit and watch him play, and so we've been very excited for this next one to come out. So it's kind of worked out perfectly that it was kind of a sick day because he was able to get that and play it. There's been maybe at this point half a dozen different games that my husband has played through that I have thoroughly enjoyed watching him play. And it was kind of funny because at this point, it was like 4 years ago when both my husband and I originally got the virus. It was before we had kids or anything, and we were just sick. It was miserable. But he played through Death's Door, which is a really fun video game, and so he played that for like 8 hours straight. Like, we were on the couch, like zonked out, like not doing anything, just exhausted, sick. And so he played that game for like 8 hours straight. And so I have some very, very nostalgic memories for that video game because it was our sick video game. And so now we were kind of laughing that we're kind of repeating that with the Octopath Traveler 0. So he's probably going to play through some more of that tonight. And yeah. So my plan is I'm going to try and get I have a Vlogmas 3 video already all filmed that I need to get edited and uploaded, but I'm going to be combining December 3rd through the 5th at least, possibly like the 6th as well, but December 3rd through the 5th into just one Vlogmas video, and we'll see what happens from there. I'm really hoping my husband doesn't get sick, just because it's not a fun time. We get sick so rarely that it's just, it really hits differently when you do get sick, because you're just like, oh man, I forgot how miserable this is. Anyway, my pan's really hot. I need to get these pancakes going. That's my update. Hello friends, welcome to December 5th. I don't think I have filmed anything at all today. It's just kind of how the weekends, days at home with my husband around go. There's just a lot going on. Our day-to-day, Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday schedule is a little bit different with my husband home, and with being sick, that's additionally thrown everything else weird. But I got a really fun package. So, as a birthday present from my husband's parents, they got me a gift card to Wool & Company, which is a yarn store based in Chicago, Illinois, here in the United States. And it's really great because they have a free shipping for anywhere in the, what's the phrase? I want to say contiguous, but I don't think that's right. Continental? I don't know. In the United States, they have free shipping. And so I was able to get a couple of things. I'm trying to be very, very intentional about any... I'm trying to be very intentional about any yarn purchases that happen throughout the end of the year. My goal is for next year to basically buy no yarn at all, if humanly possible, until November. That's what I wanted to do this year, but then I didn't do that bad, okay? I sometimes will start guilting myself and be like, I'm horrible, I bought all this yarn and all this thing, like, I really didn't. If I stop and think about it, I got some yarn in the Joann's closing sales. I got a box of acrylic yarn from the thrift store for $10. I bought a couple skeins here and there of yarn from Hobby Lobby for gifts and things. I did make one significant yarn order for a test knit. I got some special like non-superwash yarn. That was honestly like the big, bulky, like painful yarn purchase for this year because it was like $100 worth, but it was enough yarn for the test knit that I was doing, as well as some gifts for my husband, like the fingerless gloves that I'm knitting for my husband. Those are made with some yarn from that order, and then yarn for like a couple other sweaters. So it's like a decent amount of yarn for what I paid for it. And then I did place an order from Holly from Mr. Mouse Yarn Co. over the summer when she was doing like her mystery skeins, and I'm so ridiculously excited because I almost get to open those in like 2 or 3 weeks, because I bought them as like this is a birthday present for me sort of a thing from my husband, from me, somewhere in there. It's all like pre-wrapped, so I have no idea what it is, and it's been sitting there in my craft space for months now. It's been painful. And then yeah, I did make a purchase from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts when she did a sale, and that's kind of been it. I've been gifted some yarn with the yarn stash that I was gifted that I mentioned on my first Vlogmas video, and that's been about it. It feels like it's a lot, and it's not nothing. Very much so. It's more than I intended or planned to have purchased, because I did make a purchase here over the Black Friday sales from Knit Picks, but I ended up using my $30 of free money that I've talked about in previous videos. It was an unexpected money that I ended up spending for that, and I got some fiber for spinning, which that's what I wanted to do, as well as like a couple skeins of yarn to make my sons something. So I haven't gone crazy. It was a little bit more with that, the testnet one, the one that was like $100 order, that was like the biggest. If I hadn't made that, I don't think I would feel guilty at all for having purchased yarn, but I do feel a little bit guilty with that one in there. Anyway, my goodness. All of that to say, I have that Knit Picks order that's going to be coming in at some point. I did place one cheeky last purchase from Mystery Mouse Yarn Co. because she was doing like some Black Friday, Small Business Saturday sales, and there was a mini skein yarn set that I have been wanting for literally years, and there was only one left, and it was a really good price. I had saved some money on something else with like coupons and stuff, so I had about $20, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get this. I've wanted it for such a long time. Like, it's great. I love supporting Holly. So yes, that's coming in the mail at some point. I'm very excited about that one because it's not a surprise, and so I get to see what it is and open it. But yeah, so it's like I haven't gone crazy, but I have so many beautiful yarns, and at least for now, my knitting time is only going to shrink as we hopefully add more children to our life and all of that. And so I just want to use what I have, and I haven't done as good about that this year as I really wanted to and planned to at the beginning of the year. But I'm not going to beat myself up about that too much. I'm just going to try again next year. Anyway, all that to say, this package, so this was a gift from my in-laws, like I said, and I wanted to make sure that I was buying specifically things that I did not already have in my stash for like specific projects. So excited about this. I got some Barocco Remix Light, which is just, I know this isn't the best lighting with this artificial light, but it has these like tweedy pink flecks. This is in, does it not have the color name? It's color number 6977. This is a blend of 30% nylon, 27% acrylic, 27% cotton, 24% acrylic, 10% silk, and 9% linen. And it's really odd because it's labeled as a DK weight, but it comes with 432 yards per 100 grams. And I personally would not consider a yarn that is that thin to be a DK weight. So I got this because I was like, it would be really nice to make a fingering weight sweater, either a Tolster tee or something along those lines, but then do like a long sleeve one, but it's like a cottony yarn, so it would be really, really great for like the fall and spring, and even in the wintertime if you have like a cardigan on over top of it, like it would be really nice for that. So I went ahead and got 3 skeins of that, which I should be able to get, even maybe not full length sleeves, but I should be able to get a sweater with like 3/4 length sleeves or something out of that. So very, very excited about that. Then I went ahead and got 2 skeins of, they included a little stitch marker. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little stitch marker on there. I love that. But yeah, this is the business card. And then I went ahead and got 2 skeins of the Barocco Vintage Sock in the Azure colorway, or the color number 12022. And I got this because I have like a skein and a little bit in my stash. I used the rest of the... I had 2 skeins. And I used most of one to make a little sweater for my baby before he was born. It was a test knit I did last year. And so then I had 1 whole skein and a tiny bit left. And I was going to knit a matching sweater for my toddler, but then by the time I got around it, the baby was already growing out of the smaller one, and so I was like, I'm not going to mess with that. I love this color of blue. The lighting is not doing it justice at all whatsoever. But it's a really beautiful, like, royal blue type of a color. And there is a sweater pattern by, I don't know how to pronounce the designer's name. I'll see if I can put a picture up here if I have time in editing. But it's like it's a beautiful sweater with like some lace detailing around the neck. And I was like, it would be gorgeous in this like royal blue colorway. And so that's the other thing. If I'm making any yarn purchases, I want to make sure that they're like solid colors or things that work with stuff that I already have. Excuse me. So that I can make a project and use what I have rather than having like random single skeins that I can't make because I don't have enough for a project. So I went ahead and grabbed 2 skeins of that. And then the last thing was kind of more of to just use up the rest of the gift card that I had, so I didn't have like a random like, $1 or $2 left over. I grabbed a skein of the Barocco Vintage DK, which is, they all have, is it the same blend? Yeah, so the Barocco Vintage line is 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon. And I've used this a number of times. I have a lot of it in my stash, like the vintage blend, and I really like it. I've never used the vintage, or the DK line. I've used the Barocco Vintage Baby, which is DK, but I've never used the specific like Barocco Vintage DK. So I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it in a nice cherry red, which is reading very orange on my viewfinder, but this is like a classic Christmassy type red. And I was like, this would be really fun. I can make myself a little cowl with it. I can work with it, see if it's any different, see how I like it. Honestly, it is kind of a thinner looking DK. It has, well, that makes sense. It has 290 yards for 100 grams. And most of the DK yarn that I typically use is in the like 240 yards per 100 grams. So this is like 50 yards more per 100 grams. So that makes sense why it looks a little thinner. But I'm going to try it, make a cowl, because this is a relatively inexpensive yarn base, the Barocco Vintage lines. And so I could see it being a really nice and affordable yarn to get for like sweaters if I want to do some sweaters next year. So that's what I got. Super, super happy about it. I'm most excited about the Remix Light because if you've been watching my vlogs, I made a vlog over in October, November, where I talked about I had used like a little sample nugget of it, and it was so much fun to work with. It was just so nice, and then it like worked up so fluffy and light, and I'm really, really excited to work with it again. But yeah, little yarn haul. Super excited about that one. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end any talking that I have in this vlog here. I really, really need to get some editing done on videos, and I need to get I've got some Advent treats to wrap up for the Advent calendars for my husband and son, because I only wrapped like 4 days worth, and we're on day 5, so I need to wrap like the next few days. Getting sick has kind of thrown off a lot of my plans, but I wanted to share my yarns, and I'm pretty sure there's a package coming tomorrow, and I'm very excited about it. So if that is a yarny package, I will share that with you tomorrow as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I know this vlog, this one in particular, is going to be a little bit all over the place with being sick and whatnot. But yeah, I have still been really enjoying December and the beginnings of the festive season and all that lovely stuff. So thank you for watching, and I will probably try and insert a couple more little snippets in here. We have a couple of days of our tea Advent calendar to catch up on, so I will probably try and film some of that. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to go and wrap some Advent things and watch Shauna from Shauna Stitches. She just uploaded her first Vlogmas video, and I'm very excited to watch that. It's probably going to take me like the next 3 days to watch it, which is great, because then by about the time that I finish that one, it'll probably only be a day or 2 away from when she uploads her next one. So it'll all work out. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope that you're having a wonderful December so far, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!